Hey everybody, hope you're doing pretty well today. In a few hours, we're going to have the Splinterlands Town Hall that could be pretty big for the whole project. But why not learn a little bit about another project on the Hive blockchain? So let's talk about Woo! But it's the World Online Wrestling, Wrestling Online. Let me get it right. It's Wrestling Organization Online. And I just the other day, I did my first post about this, and I joined their Discord and I talked to them a little bit about it, and they gave me some packs to give away to my community. So that's pretty cool. So today on this post, there's going to be a link to a Hive post similar to my DEC giveaways. You have to go and put a comment over there. You'll get your name on the wheel, and then we're going to be doing weekly posts where I go ahead and spin the wheel a few times and give you each an alpha pack. Now I'm going to talk about why I'm doing it in kind of a drawled out thing. The game doesn't come out till next year. There's no real hurry to get this. And one of my small benefits for them giving me these packs is I get some extra tokens while I'm holding them. And we'll talk about that as we go over the ecosystem. Now, this is the only real image I could find to their roadmap, and they did mention they might put out some posts kind of pulling together some of their older posts and key info up near the top of their feed, because really a lot of this is only existing on the Hive blockchain. I'll have a link to them. They're it's Wrestler Online, basically, with org in between on the Hive blockchain, so you can see this on Peak D if you use that like me, or on any of the other Hive front ends, whatever is your favorite flavor. Now, one of the things that's really interesting when you talk about other projects growing on the Hive blockchain is that while Splinterlands is the cream of the crop and the one bringing the most eyes, I think, to this platform and the most users, if more games can continue to do this, we can have the Hive blockchain maybe succeed and go up. And what would a very strong Hive token mean for the Splinterlands ecosystem? I can tell you this: I post a lot of my content to Hive. I earn a few dollars on there, and most of those dollars go directly into the Hive projects, whether they be Splinterlands, maybe Woo for a little while because this looks very interesting to me, or any of the other games I've played in the past, such as D-City. I still play Rising Star a little bit. I looked at D-Crops, but I just wasn't that interested. I tried the beer brewing one for a little while. Only Splinterlands has really held my interest long term. I'm interested in some other ones that are coming up, but Woo really stands out as one that is going to maybe be the next one to, I think, kind of stand out and at least keep my attention. And if you can keep my attention, then you can keep other people's attention. Now, we're still relatively early, but not super early at looking at this project. I didn't get in very early, in 2021 or 2022. We're sitting over here in the quarter three, maybe even quarter four. It's the end of three or the start of four. I forget how the quarter system works when it comes to these things, but I got in a little bit late. I missed the first airdrops and all the first sales, and unfortunately it's just one of those things where I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to get into it a little late, but I am getting into it before the game is actually payable, before land has actually put on sale, and before the last normal alpha pack sale will be done. So what they did was kind of some smaller pack sales of non-wrestlers and lore cards, another special special kind of Saturn airdrop battle royale mini game, like Saturn airdrop packs, and we'll go over all the packs when we get into their site, and a few other smaller things leading into their big alpha pre-sale, and then now leading into their general sale. So their alpha sale was their first bigger one. We did miss that. You have to buy them on secondary, but there is still one more general sale coming, so you would be able to buy packs at price still as we go into the game early next year. Now, a few other posts that they've put out here. They did go over the gameplay, and so I'll have a link to this post if you want to learn how the game is actually played. It is actually similar to some games I've played and talked about in the past. Fightland is the one that comes to mind. That one did not succeed, but Woo does seem to have one thing going for it that some of the other ones do not, and that's the fact that it's a more well-known brand in wrestling, and they are actually getting some real wrestling stars to be involved involved with the game. There is also a way for some of this money to go back to some of the real wrestlers in the world. So if you're a fan of wrestling, this is a game that you can get into, you can play, you can own a wrestler that is, cards and venues and things like that. And as you play and interact and the marketplace hopefully grows and grows and grows, it could become a source of income for those wrestlers. A lot of them can use some extra money because low level stars or people who are out of contracts, and it's really hard. If you know a lot about the wrestlers of the world, for every one that got super famous and super rich, there's probably thousands that just did not have a good go of it, and this could maybe help with some of that. So they also did a little change recently to do some buyback on their tokens. I'll have a link to this post if you want to know more, but it's basically to help build up their liquidity. I actually really like projects that have a way to auto lock liquidity, because liquidity is a big problem for a lot of projects. If you don't want to put up your own money, if you take a market fee or some kind of fee off of the marketplace and send that into lock liquidity that you can't even access or remove, then you're making your the floor price for your token go higher and higher and higher over time, given it's not going to go super high unless there's a lot of transaction stuff. Now, we do have they did give me a link to go ahead and check out the mini game where you can come and kind of see a battle royale take place. We're going to end the video with this. It does take a little bit longer. Some of you might not be that interested. We're going to be doing a little bit of skipping and talking over of that, just to show you why you might want to get into learning about Woo and posting about Woo. Look at my first post. I got a $20 reward. Given, how Hive works, that's not really $20 for me, but that's not bad considering this post was just basically telling people, hey, I got my first alpha packs, I opened them up, look what I got, and a quick look of all the different stuff that their ecosystem can do. So now let's go ahead and get into their ecosystem so we can talk about everything. We'll start here at the pack opening screen. The pack opening screen is very reminiscent to Splinterlands. One thing to know about this team, they understand that Splinterlands is the cream of the crop. They understand that they want to emulate their system and their way of rewarding tokens to players, rewarding early people. As I said, their first packs, I believe, were the Woo Raven, Woo Saturn, and Woo Alpha. I was given 10 to give away. I bought 3 and I bought 3 more. Now, the pack opening stuff is not quite as slick as Splinterlands yet, but that makes sense. This project is still early on. I'm not going to open any packs today. I want to do those more in live streams, maybe give away cards. I don't know if I'm going to give away all 10 packs or if I'm going to give away maybe 5 to 8 of the packs and then open 2 of the packs and give away some individual NFTs so we can have some additional winners. It should be pretty fun to see. We're going to kind of figure out when I can do these, and I want to promote them a little bit. So on today's video, there will be a chance just with 1 pack we're going to be giving away to start, and then you can come and open a pack. Now let's get into when you're looking at your card collections. As you can see, I've opened up a few cards, and so far I would say that the card artwork is very good and very bad at the same time. I actually think the artwork on the wrestlers is fantastic, but I don't know what's up with this big gray piece on the bottom of the cards. Maybe they're going to add in some text at some point, which will explain a little bit more about who these cards are and what they are. Also, I don't really like the way these numbers are put out. So this is a 2212, but it's like, what does that even mean? So the 8, the cost number makes sense to me, but it's not super clear right away what these other things are. And this card's a manager card, but again, if you would know that after a little while of looking into it, but I don't like it when things don't scream what they are, right? Like in Splinterlands, they did the attack damage is either an arrow or a melee-ish blade or something. The speed has a blue swiftness with a boot to it. The HP has a heart. These are missing those kinds of little things, and while those are a little bit more fantasy-based, and they might need to put more something like a fist and a foot still works for speed and hearts still work for life, but obviously maybe they don't use bow and arrows for their attacks. I don't know if there's a plan to rework the card framing or not. I do think over time when they release their next sets, just like Splinterlands, the card art will get better and things might change. But overall, the actual artwork of the wrestlers, which is hidden a little bit here, is really, really good. Unfortunately, there's no way to see it, but except for when you go into the mini game, and we'll go ahead and check that out later on. You can see that they do have a pretty vibrant marketplace. So if you can go to, I don't have any for sale. These are my collections. But if you go into their actual market, you can see that there are a lot of cards out here and they are for sale. And they are not particularly that cheap at this point. Like this is one that I have, but people are wanting like 0.23 Hive for him. Some of the ones I don't have, people are wanting like a quarter of a Hive for this, or an HBD. Those are swap HBDs, so like 44 cents. And so these cards are not super expensive at like 27 cents to 30 cents, but you can't actually play the game with them yet. But there is some functionality that you could do with them. These are the lore cards. These are a little bit more rare. They come from the older sets, and you can see these are selling for actually a few dollars. So what can you currently do with the cards and the packs? Well, let's go ahead and look at the airdrop. You are getting airdropped for packs that you hold. So as you can see, for the 13 alpha packs that I hold each day, I'm earning just about 8.7 Woo tokens. Woo tokens are not that valuable, so it's not a ton of money yet. But hey, it's free rewards just for holding these packs and sitting on them, and maybe speculating that they'll go up in price in the future. We don't know that for sure. This airdrop is going on until July 13th of 2023, so there's still many more months. And as more packs are opened, your share of, like if I just held these 13, which obviously I'm giving some away, but I give away a pack to you and you open it, you take a pack out of the pool of packs, and then each person who still holds a pack gets more tokens. So one of the funny things is near the end of this airdrop phase, you could be only holding a few tokens and be getting way, like you might hold one pack and get like 30, 40, 50 Woo, because there just might not be that many packs left when it comes to July. On the other hand, maybe people are just going to hold them to get the airdrop all the way through, and then they'll do a mass opening. Don't know for sure. As you can see, I went ahead and picked up one Saturn pack and one Raven pack just because I wanted to have one each of the packs. So for this example, we got one pack here earning about 2, one pack here earning 1.5, and so that's one thing you can do with the current packs. The other thing they have going on is NFT mining. Now, this one is kind of interesting because when you go ahead and put them into the mining pool, it earns you raffle tickets. And I'm not going to completely cover that today because this is more of an intro, but we will cover that more in depth in one of the other videos when we are giving away more items. But basically, you get some raffle tickets, and then every day there's a drawing and a payout, and if you win some Woo. This Woo is actually given to you liquid. I actually won the first day that I staked them, 342 Woo. I would like maybe if there was more of a breakdown built into the site to understand how many tickets you're getting and what's your percentage chance of winning. That might actually incentivize some people to go out and buy more wrestlers and stake them to get to a higher percentage of winning the pool. But it works, and that's something that's pretty cool to see. So as you can see, I have all of my cards staking. The rares I got so far are these two right here, Muska, and I'm not a huge wrestling fan anymore. I was when I was a kid, so I don't know who these people are. But I got a Paul Savage, who's a manager, and I got 2 of this card. This is probably the rarest one I got, and I got 2 of this rare. The rest of the stuff I got is all common. I didn't pull anything epic or legendary, but I have heard that a rare manager is similar to pulling an epic regular card, but I did only open 3 packs. I'm going to start comparing pack price to card price, and I'll do another video of whether or not maybe we should go ahead and be buying up cheap cards before this game gets started, or if it's a better play to buy packs. It's always fun to open packs. That's why I have bought a couple so far, but I haven't gone hard into either at this point. Now, let's get into some of the ways that you can earn Woo for free. So they have a very interesting system going right now. They have a very, very, very high staking reward on their tokens. So you can see I have 12K tokens staked so far, and they're paying out at 132% APR. Now, when you claim your stake tokens, they go into staking immediately, so you do have to unstake them if you wanted to actually get any liquid tokens. At this point, there's not a real reason to get liquid tokens unless you were trying to take some profit off the top. These will come into play when their next pack sale goes on. Now, one of the other ways you can earn it is by doing an HP delegation. Now, this is something that is pretty, good to anybody that has some extra Hive power and maybe isn't super active in curating. I know I don't curate very well with my own account because I kind of save my votes to give to votes in my community, and not enough people actually share content with me to give out my full amount of votes I should give out every day. And some days I just completely forget to vote at all. So I went ahead and I delegated over 2,000 HP to them. A 32% APR on a delegation is pretty amazing. If you're even a bigger whale than me, you could do even more. I did keep some of my vote back because I didn't want to give it all away, but still, I thought this was pretty cool to see, and I'm earning, some free coins that also get automatically put into staking. I'm also possibly going to be buying up some of the tokens right now in a down market. A lull before packs go out. Woo could be pretty cheap, but I still need to study the marketplace, and I will do a lot of this stuff in the near future, so I will have a little bit better information for you. They also have a Woo SPS liquidity pool on TribalDex. They have a Woo DEC pool on TribalDex and a Woo Pizza pool on TribalDex. One of the things I have noticed is they have been partnering with some of the other projects on the Hive blockchain, which is good. That includes the One Up Club and Cartel, I should say, the One Up Cartel and the Pizza token and the Pizza project. I admit I'm sleeping a little bit on both of those projects. Maybe I'll try to learn a little bit more about them because people give me Pizza tokens every once in a while on my accounts, and people and I do have some One Up tokens, but I don't fully understand if they're just Hive front ends or if they're actually something a little bit more. So that kind of gives you a big overhaul of the general ecosystem of Woo. Right now, the main things that you can do is you can either play the secondary marketplace, buying and selling cards. You can buy cards and packs off the secondary marketplace, and we can go ahead and look at those over here on TribalDex. So let's go ahead and go to tokens, and then we'll search Woo. So right now, you got a Woo Alpha pack going for just under $350. You've got Woo Saturn packs going for $745 and Woo Raven packs going for $528. You can see that their market caps here are 82,000, 85,000, and 46,000 with, daily volumes in the couple hundreds of dollars. So not off the charts, not super deep liquidity yet, but nothing, too crazy. You got your Woo tokens at 0.003 cents. So when you buy 100 tokens, that would be about $3. Not too bad, right? Did I do that right? Let's see, if I bought 10 tokens, it would go here, 20 would go here. Yeah. So 100 tokens would run you around $3 at this point. So you can see when I had 12,000 tokens staking, it's like around $100 in tokens, a little bit more, but it's in general still relatively early. This market cap actually though looks pretty impressive when you do see that this is currently at $349,000. That is much deeper liquidity for their token, and because their market does have that 5% fee, 2%, which automatically increases locked liquidity, that number should continue to grow, even if at one date they aren't incentivizing anybody to put any tokens into this other than the regular trading fees that you would get when you just supply liquidity to a project. You could have still a very, very big floor built into it as long as the transactions on the marketplace are really good. And it's really cool to see them take that same 5% transaction fee that Splinterlands use and go ahead and take 2% of it and put it into lock liquidity. Splinterlands doesn't do that. They could take 2% of the DEC that they take when they do those market transactions that we pay for in DEC and pair it up with Hive and then put it into liquidity and build up some natural Hive DEC liquidity, but that's not something they chose to do. But the Woo project did choose to do that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and end it there, everybody. I do hope you think about taking a look at the Wrestling Organization Online project. I'll have links to their Hive blog, a few of the different Hive posts that make sense to check out, and a link to my post so that you can get entered in to win your first free alpha pack. Congratulations to the team so far on really, I think, building a very strong start to this project. Thanks, everybody. Goodbye.